Yeah, sure. Well, I'm sitting here at my tiki bar, but I ain't seen the sun all day. There's a storm out there, but I don't care. Yeah, I've got Mike's weather page. Never go down. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move it makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is it just me or is there spinach in it? There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis. But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, you stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching Mike's face. Yes, we do. Put your chrome head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. Here we go now. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blobby Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mike with a hat and glasses. Don't think I'm like an imposter here. How's everybody doing? Hopefully good. This is our daily brew. It is Thursday. We missed yesterday. I was down in Fort Myers. Didn't get to see my buddy Matt. I had to come home. I had an allergic reaction to my eye. I get this a little bit. Now, finally got reduced my stubbornness and called the doctor and had a phone visit today, and we got some prescriptions for the season, actually, because it's been persistent. But when it gets me, it's like, oh, God. It started hitting me with my buddy Major the other night, and I got through the awesome dinner at McGregor's, but then yesterday it was terrible, like bright lights, and so it's a lot better today. I'm just keeping my contact out. But you diehards know this happens a lot over the years. I get it around springtime. There's something in the air that reacts to my eyes. And so, hey, Brandy, yeah, there's a trick to the app. The app's new. I think you double tap or something. Katie Haley, good morning. So we're going to talk good morning, everybody. We got a little bit to talk about in the tropics. I'm Mike from Mike's Weather Page. We're coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida. We got a couple dogs ready to say hello to you. Louie was the first one up, so you got to have some patience. We chat and chit-chat for about 45 minutes, so I go over everything I can. So you're not going to get it right away. This is kind of what we do. But we've been going live since 16, and, I'd always refer to the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service for official information. I inject opinions and thoughts and all possibilities, and sometimes that's a little bit overwhelming for some. So if it is, I apologize. Good morning, Bobby. Good to see you, Hurricane Harbor. Let's bring up our good friends at ABC here as we get going. They are our proud sponsor of our morning daily brew for 5 years now, Louie. Louie is 6. ABC's been sponsoring almost your whole life, buddy. So thank you very much to them and all of our great supporters, especially if you're in Florida. We love ABC. So if you ever visit us, if you're from out of state, make sure you swing by one. You will be amazed. They're a great company, family owned and operated. Longest running family owned and operated in the state. Good morning, Mr. Richard Sanford. What's up, Alan? A lot of hearts over there. Everybody loving Louie. Shelly from the Snowbird in Davenport, Iowa. Marty, what's up? I met some people from Iowa a couple of days ago. They said this humidity is awful. They were telling me that it's hot in Iowa, but not Florida hot, if that makes sense. Louie is the OG. That's correct. Thank you, Brenda. Good to see you. Zachary from West Palm. West Palm, going to get a little drying out here over the weekend. Valerie Bauer, good morning. What's up, Mr. Isaac Taylor? I know, Bobby, that was a busted forecast. I will be the first to admit it. I was wrong. I really thought that plume of moisture was going to make it to middle southern Texas, and it just didn't happen. The storm went due west, and we had a big high-pressure surge that pushed all that moisture with it. So, a lot, just didn't happen. That's the way it goes. But some places still had quite a bit. It just definitely wasn't what we thought, or I thought, and the models thought. The high pressure was tricky. The high pressure definitely brought in a lot of dry air. And if you saw that convection last night, a lot of that bubbling was to the south, and we had a lot of emptiness to the north. It is hot, Lisa. Oh, my God. I was checking. We're going to Newberry again this weekend. I saw on Friday 107-degree heat index coming up. Unbelievable. Crazy. Let's put on a satellite here real quick. Let me see which one I want to show here. Let's go this one as we say hello. This is our current satellite. Good morning, Rockport. You got 6 to 8 inches. Well, hey, that wasn't off from the expectations. A lot of surge. Yes, holy moly. The surge was incredible in Texas. Corey Lewis down in the Keys. What's cooking? But a lot of that surge was some high pressure, too. The high pressure that we have over the Gulf brought in a lot of winds. If you're wondering why it was so windy in Florida and the Atlantic, we have a high pressure to the north. And anytime that low pressure to the south develops into a tropical system, which it did, we get a really tight pressure gradient. And the bigger the number to the north and the smaller number to the south makes a tight pressure gradient. And when we have those tight pressure gradients, we get a lot of wind. So the Gulf is really windy for several days. And a lot of that would have still created surge, in my opinion. We got a full moon right now going on, a strawberry moon. But yeah, the surge videos from Weather Chasing. Check it out. Brandon Clement, a good friend of mine, Jonathan, did some great stories. WX Chasing. Look it up. You'll see some amazing footage that they took. Still going on this morning with the second high tide. Deanna, yeah, it looks like, all right, so we're gonna really go into this Florida storm that's coming real soon, and then a little sneaky, we're gonna say goodbye to Louie. I don't know how much longer I got with my eyes feeling normal, so everybody say goodbye to Louie. Louie likes to lay like a dog. Look at this, he loves this. Oh, he did it. Look at this. When he puts his hands down like this, it's like unbelievable. He's just like a little puppy. All right, that's the current satellite. So we got a few things we're looking at on the map here. The big surge of moisture going through. There's a little bit of rain in Texas still, but not like we thought. Definitely southern part got the most. It's getting shoved off to the west. This is the area here we're going to talk about. This is leftover Alberto that made landfall. This is the sneaky little 92. We're going to go really in depth here in a second. And then this little guy, this little thing's expected to copycat Alberto in the next few days. So there's 3 things on that National Hurricane Center radar we're going to get into here in a second. Hands. Trisha, I don't know what to call them. What's RGV? Now you're getting fancy. Yeah, Goes You. That's another new one, David. I haven't read too much about it, honestly. You're going to have some rain coming, Barbara, I promise. Well, I'm not going to promise. Big surge. Yeah, I saw the surge in Louisiana. That was all from that high-pressure gradient pushing that water up there. What's up, Tabletop Greek? A little bit of rain, not much. So, I'm going to get into it, and if you stick around, we'll talk more intimately later. Mary H., good morning. Rio Grande Valley, Jason Strong. Okay. Look at all. Now I feel silly. Look at it. Everybody's telling me. Okay. I got like 18 people telling me Rio Grande Valley. Every year I learn something new. But yeah, we could have some more rain up towards Texas from this other system. I told you my next shirt design, didn't I? We're going to have all of our 3-letter, 2-letter, 4-letter abbreviations on a shirt. I talked to Dusty about it. It's going to be awesome. Only a weather geek would know. That's my new idea. All right, so let's go to the website real quick. This is Mike's Weather page. You can find all kinds of stuff on here. This column here has got all the latest on Invest 92, spaghetti models on tropical tidbits, National Hurricane Center graphics. We got Alberto. So that's the column. We do have an app I want to bring to people's attention. You can click on it there. We also have a supporter area with a separate chat area called the MWP Chat. So the app gets a lot of support if you're interested. There you go. It's Mike's Weather page. And then also our MWPchat.com. You got to be a Cat 1, Cat 5 supporter. Not through YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. You got to subscribe through my website and be specifically Cat 1 or Cat 5. Then you get access to our MWP chat where you get a lot of awesome stuff. I'm very happy to finally find an area that we can call home with true notifications and real-time updates. But all right, so here's what it looks like. This is the tropics map. I was a little surprised to see orange off the coast of Florida. I will admit, I really was. This is a definite models versus humans, like the Cody Johnson song, Human. So we got humans versus models. The models aren't showing anything from Invest 92 developing, okay? So, man, I don't think we'll see an Otis, but... And I'll tell you why there's a good chance that this could defy models, even though I trust models more than anything. So we're going to get to that. This is the new area we're going to talk about last, and Alberto's making its way into Mexico. So we're going to focus on I call it the Florida spot. I always have, always will. Here's what the latest wording is. Disturbance number 1. This is Invest 92. Environmental conditions are only marginally conducive due to dry air. Further development could lead to development of a tropical depression. Notice they don't say tropical storm. They just say tropical depression. So one thing about these colors and stuff is they get scary as they go from yellow to orange to red. But you got to remember, this is only development of a tropical depression or greater. So it doesn't mean we're going to have a hurricane. It just means we could have a tropical depression. And if we get a closed little low with storms, it could be a tropical depression. But honestly, living in Florida, afternoon thunderstorms sometimes could be a lot worse than what this could be. So don't get worked up on this, in my opinion, because A, it doesn't have a lot of time. It could be making landfall, whatever that means, the center of it, by tomorrow morning. So it doesn't have a lot of time. Pressures are still high, 10, 12, 10, 14. So it takes a lot of time for pressures to drop. Pressures don't just drop. So, yeah, we're watching it for sure. But cautiously. Don't get worked up about it, okay? My opinion. Again, National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, listen to them. Then you listen to my opinion and make your own. So anyway, I was a little surprised. Here's tropicaltidbits.com. These are your latest 12Z spaghetti models. You can see the general path. This is west-northwest. So yeah, it's going to curve eventually. So it's going to linger. We're going to have some initial rains. And then we're actually going to increase the rain chances through the weekend. So a little bit, obviously to the north. Tropical systems spin clockwise. Wrong. Tropical systems, see if anybody's listening. Tropical systems spin counterclockwise. CC. That means mostly all your rains and stuff are going to get piled into the north. If there's any surge or anything like that, as systems wrap around. So that's that. Those are spaghetti models. We have them pointing towards the southeast, Florida specifically. Most of them are in northern Florida. And I'm going to show you some stuff and what impacts and what we could see. Just because we have spaghetti models doesn't mean anything. But there's your, like I said, landfall tomorrow morning, if there is a landfall. And there you go. All right, so here's a precipitable water map. Let's drink some coffee. Everybody wants rain in Jacksonville. Guess what? Gary, that's a lot of pressure. I agree with you. I'm very, very skeptical, but there's a couple of things that I can't be skeptical on, and I'll tell you why. Aiden, that's a great question. What's up with why it's windy? We have a really, let me show you real quick because I love that you asked that. Let me see if I can open up my page here somewhere. Let's go to close out ABC. This is basically it. So the reason it's so hot and dry in the East Coast right now, we have a very large high pressure system overhead. And I was trying to find maybe 500 millibar. It's probably going to be more 850 millibar. I don't know. But basically, though, is this. So high pressure locked in over the east, and basically just a lot of winds coming in around this high pressure because we have low pressures to the south, and that's those pressure gradients we talked about. So anytime you get a high pressure spinning this way, low pressure to the south, the winds combine here, these winds come down here, and they meet, and we just get a lot of winds rushing in. Some of these winds end up wrapping around our Alberta. Some just keep on going around this high pressure. So high pressure to the north usually means for Florida, a lot of winds in off the Atlantic. Okay, and here's that little guy. We might as well show it to you. This is the 850 or 700 millibar spinach. So, I mean, you know, it's interesting. There's your 850 spin. This was your 700. Here's your 850. We go to 500 millibar if there is any spin. Not really. So it's basically a lower level surface low. 500 millibar. You need all the levels to stack to be organized. 500 millibar is not yet, but again, it only has a day. Storms need a lot of time. So this one, I just don't know if it has enough time to be anything significant or not. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. There's a lot of wind shear, dry air. All right, but this is moisture. Now you can see the reds and the purples are Alberta. This doesn't mean anything other than it's just the moisture, the low level moisture in the atmosphere. This is what makes it rain. But you can see it spinning in. It's very interesting. You can really get a good look at where this little sucker broke off, and that high pressure has helped pushing it along. Interesting. It's been a very tricky little setup here. That is not a hurricane. That is just moisture in the atmosphere. And you can see, obviously, Texas moisture was a lot more. And here's this moisture here wrapping up around Central America, and it's going to follow along Alberta. Systems sometimes follow other systems. We've seen that in the past. Weather pattern is locked in right now, so whatever starts out down here in Central America is going to end up following Alberta and this whole general western Gulf. And we'll go into that here later. But all right, so here's some satellite imagery. Sloppy mess. That's a clump of clouds. That's what it looks like right now. Here's Florida to your left. There's Cape Canaveral. There's Shelly right there drinking coffee. What's up, Martha? Good morning, Dana. You a little windy out there, Deborah. Yep. Boating. Where you boat at, Deborah? Cool, David. Thanks for the link. I'll check it out on the new satellite going up. Water temperatures are hot. Yep, John, but you know as well as I do, it takes a lot more of the warm water. So this is hopefully the message I got out early in the year. You know, there's a lot of things that make the season, and water temperatures is not the only thing. And we have wind shear, we have time, we have dry air. You know, all that stuff slows development of storms. Alberto had warm water, but it had a lot of other things going against it. So it's not always about that warm water. Yeah, Shelly, I unlinked it for him so he could share it. It was a good link. But yes, we don't like links in the chat. Usually they could lead to bad things. MCO's fine, David. You'll be good to go. Ladyfish, tropical storm. Just that. So you Texans out there, I mean, that area with the house with the stilts, where was that at? Does it flood frequent? Because it looked like it. You know, I wonder if they get that kind of stuff with just high tides. But you know, we get a lot of these high pressure systems, regardless of tropical development, and I'm sure the winds push right into Texas there. Anyway, sloppy mess. There's your water vapor loop. not the worst. Oranges or there ain't no orange in there. Green and whites are moist air. We get a little drier to the south, but it's that. And then one more is your I don't know, just your top IRRB top satellite imagery that I like. You look for darker colors to show large cloud tops, and it's just disorganized looking. Now there's a couple windows here of possibilities. Let me show you. Here's the 850. This is the old school vorticity map that we used to always use, and it does have decent low level circulation. It doesn't have mid level circulation perfect yet, but does have that. So that's if you're wondering why this, or if you're wondering what chances this thing could, well, what's going to help this Invest 92 develop? It's already got a surface low. Okay, granted it's low level spin, but not low pressure, and it takes time for pressures to drop. So it's got the low level spin, and it also has this. Now, this is a hard map to look at. There's Florida right here in the middle. Wind shear wrapping around it with that high pressure, but it's got a little window of light wind shear, and that kind of caught my eye this morning. So, it's east of the Bahamas, and the blue dotted lines means that shear is decreasing. So it has a little window that this thing could try to be sneaky on its 24-hour approach to northern Florida. So, that's that right there. We got the Gulf Stream, warmer waters. We got a little bit of ocean heat content out there. The waters are a little warmer, not where they normally are later seasons. So it's not like perfect conditions, but the water is a tad warmer. Now, you look at your anomaly maps, we keep talking about record water temperatures, but realistically, the anomaly map here for that area is not that far off from normal monthly wise here, weekly wise. So, it's white's normal. So it's not like over super duper crazy hot water. Like, I know that's the storyline this year, but our little system's right here. So it's not really over any crazy hot water that's not normal this time of year. So, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. But as far as any really thing to be concerned about, I don't know. What else we got? All right, so what will it be? All right, well, here's regardless of development. This is your rain map through Sunday night. The reason I put Sunday night is because we do have rains coming tonight. I'm going to show you 48-hour radar. This is rains through the weekend, and basically anything yellow is about an inch. We got a few pockets, possibly in Jacksonville, that might reach 2 inches. So nothing tremendous. This is a blend of models. This is all the models combined. Averages them out. Statistics. I wish we had an outlier. That'd be kind of neat if we had the worst and the worst. That'd be awesome. Like a worst case and more, or the worst case with rain and anyway. I still think I have Benadryl in me. I had to take 2 Benadryl yesterday for my eye, and I slept. I was about 30 minutes late on Invest 92. I felt so bad. I woke up at like 7:30. I'm like, ah! So luckily I felt good, and I was able to update the website and the app. It took about 3 hours. Did a little 90-second reel. So, oh man, anybody going to Margaritaville out of Tampa? I'm really curious. Seeing good and bad. All right, so if you're worried about rain, there's your rain. Now, isolated pockets obviously could be more, but we don't see that wide coverage of 10 inches of rain. So, not going to be a major rain event. Wave map, this is your maximum waves through Sunday. Obviously, we're going to have increased surf here still across the Western Gulf. Yellow is 10-foot seas. So the Gulf's going to be choppy. The Atlantic's going to be choppy. We could see, up to 20-foot seas out there in the open Atlantic. Not crazy. We've seen 40, 50, 60 foot in the past from high pressure systems. So, it's still going to be choppy. This is your maximum waves through the weekend. So it will be an increased surf along Florida. So I know our kite surfers and surfers will love that. Across all of the East Coast there, up into South Carolina some. This general motion will be in off of the Atlantic. So there's your waves. And winds. These are wind gust max through Saturday night. Hunter! He looked like he was doing his business. Come here. So anyway, 34 knots is still green. All right. So we're not seeing anything crazy with winds. All right. So I hope you get the feeling that what I think is going to happen with Invest 92 is nothing more than what might be normal for summer. So that's just my gut. From all the modeling is not showing development. I was just shocked that the NHC went from 20 to 30 to 40, honestly. But hey, we'll find out in 24 hours. I was wrong about the rains in Texas, so maybe this might be a bad year for Mike's weather page. Anyway, all right, let's look at the individual model runs here on Tropical Tidbits. Plus, we've got a high pressure system blowing in a lot of dry air. Let's look at the water vapor map real quick. Overall, hey, I got a meeting. Okay, that's 2:00. Never mind. Where's the dry air? All right, here's your dry air. All right, come here, buddy. You listen to me. Come here. He's getting close. Come on, buddy. There's dry air. All right, so look at. I mean, that's this is yellows and oranges are dry air. That's what the NHC is talking about. There's some dry air out there. Another thing too, if it were to organize and start reaching that 500 millibar level upwards, it would start to pull in this dry air, and that would help reduce. So another little deterrent. So it's just a blob of clouds, man. I don't know. That's circled orange. I hope it doesn't pop up in anything that's sneaky, but we'll see. A little spin down here in Cuba. So yeah, I don't know, dry air. All right, let's look at some individual model runs. Let's talk about up north too. This is a great map. This one really puts it into a nutshell. What's going on? So here's that high pressure, man. It's just locked in. This is rainfall the next 5 days. It just creates a blocking pattern as it spins. And yes, this is all tropical juice from our Invest 92, but look at this. Everything's flowing this way. Everything's flowing that way. And we just got a big old X out here the next 5 days. Not a lot of rain. That means heat. First day of summer officially tomorrow, but it begins today. I don't understand it. Listen, when I grew up, I'm still growing up, but when I was growing up younger, first day of summer was always June 21st. My mom's birthday is June 21st. I don't care. First day of summer to me is June 21st. That's what I was taught. Now we have meteorological first day of summer, June 1st. Some say today is the first part of summer, but it's, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Today's spring/summer. But we do have a long-range heat map I want to bring to everybody's attention. This is hazardous heat. This is a little guy right here. Just got updated. Hazardous heat all the way down into Florida. There's that high pressure just locking in. Now, this could be the pattern through the year. This is why, if you've been listening to me all year long, we're talking about hurricane tracks, hurricane paths. We have years with the strong Bermuda high locked in, and the flow basically is more to the upper Gulf, Western Gulf. We're seeing that already early season. We're also seeing a flow to that East Coast. Storms that normally recurve out in the Atlantic because we have a weak high might not happen as much early season through August into September. So this is what we're watching for, is a strong Bermuda high that basically will steer things a little more east or west, excuse me. And that means Caribbean. That means upper Western Gulf. That means East Coast. It's just everything flowing more west. And that's because if we have a strong Bermuda high, which we really haven't had in a lot of years, we might see East Coast action that hasn't seen it in a lot of years. That's what we're watching for this year, and of course upper Western Gulf. Now, end of the season is totally different. As soon as these cold fronts start to pop into the picture, and we'll have, right now cold fronts can't make their way down. They hit this and they get stopped. If this high remains, cold fronts come down later in the year. Talked to a lot of folks yesterday down at Fort Myers. Ian was in, still September, right? but we were seeing cold fronts starting to come down that year early. And I remember saying many times that if we ever were to get a system down there, it would probably pull north and curve because of the cold fronts. The cold fronts are your steering mechanism for storms. So that year we saw a lot of cold fronts early season. So this year, what I'm thinking is we're already seeing this high pressure in place. It's early, it's only June, but we're seeing that blocking pattern. And we're going to see how long this lasts. And if it lasts into September, then we'll see the chances of stronger storms maybe reaching upper and western Gulf and East Coast that normally would have A, recurved or B, turned more. So Florida, I always say you are not any more at risk or less at risk in any hurricane season. We see that with El Nino, we see it with La Nina. So Florida, I think the peninsula especially, you're always at risk. I mean, it just like I say you stick out like a sore thumb or a sore eyeball. So anyway, there's the heat. We do have some flooding concerns I want to bring up. So we have some storms today to worry about in the Northeast. They don't get storms a lot up there. They might even have a little, no tornado chance. I said they might, but they don't. So that's good news. Mainly just strong straight line squalls today. There's your storms today. Following that high pressure. Everything goes around that high pressure. Anybody go see the new Twister movie? Was it less than a month? We got a local AMC here I'm going to go to. I haven't been to the movie since like Ghostbusters. Oh, did they change it, Emily? Now it's the 20th? Hell, I don't even know. My mom's birthday is tomorrow. She's 84. And so in my mind, I'm going to go down with the sinking ship as June 21st because that was my mom's birthday. I'm not changing her birthday for summer. Maybe it's leap year. I don't know. All right, here's storms tomorrow. Mainly just nothing tornadic. And then on, what day is this? This is Saturday. Saturday storms up north again. Could be a little stronger next Saturday. So if you got anybody have that neck of the woods on Saturday. So there's that. Weather ahead. Let's talk about more individual stuff here. The wind field's always fascinating. This is the current wind field. What was amazing about this, we can go to archives. Go to archives and click on graphic archives. And we can look at the cone with wind field. Here's wind history. All right. So this is the wind history. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, stop. All right. Stop! This is when they designated it right here. I don't know why they didn't start out. All right, so that big orange is tropical storm force winds. This was first advisory. And we can just see how it kind of made its way into Texas. I don't like the graphics not working. Maybe this is better. Okay, that one made no sense. This was the history of winds. All right, so this was on the 18th, and you can just see how the winds expanded and moved their way into Texas. Our storm took a little dip. That changed a lot. See this little dip in the track? If this thing would have continued on the expected track here, then these winds would have been a lot more higher and the rains would have been a lot more higher, but it made a little dip down to that other center. Remember there was like two centers on this. It was such a broad, remember we were showing it, it almost looked like an 8. It had like a weird pattern. It had two centers and it ended up this being the dominant center, and that skewed the center of the storm and all ended up wrapping around it more tighter to the south side. So all right, here's your hazardous heat for today. We know that it's going to be heck is hot. Heck is hot. Really, a lot of heat advisories in the purple. Unfortunately, a lot of areas that don't have air conditioners. It was hotter in Maine yesterday than it was in Florida. That's a weird one. But anyway, all right. So this is where we look at for tropical development. This is tropical tidbits. We look for tight gradients, we look for low pressure centers. This is, obviously we look at ensembles too, but it's always good just to click on the main runs. And here's Alberto moving in. We're going to look down here too for the weekend on our next spot that's coming up across the Yucatan. So this is like multi-purpose modeling. So here's our little low coming in. Now here's over tonight, this evening. Very weak signature. Here's tomorrow morning. So if there were a center, it'd be just north of the Cape. Very weak showing. Not even under 1010 millibar. That's the GFS. And here's our next system coming up. Let me make it a little smaller so you can see. All right. Here's our next system. This is Saturday. And it just keeps on doing that Mexico turn. High pressure's in place. So rains and winds we'll get into. Let me go to the Euro and look at Florida first. Here's Alberto going in. Boom. And then here's our little guy today. Just, very little signature of anything developing on the Euro. I mean, maybe 10, 18, I don't know. But there's, north of the Cape landfall. Here's the Friday. That's Friday tomorrow. And then here's our next system coming up in the BOC, Bay of Campeche. And it kind of follows that same path as Alberto. We'll look at rain maps here in a second. Canadian, same thing. Here's our little bubble going a little to the north, maybe more like Jacksonville, maybe, but nothing organized this weekend. Here's our new little spot down there. Nothing really there. And then Icon, I love. It's showing a little baby bump, Bobby. Bobby called these little baby bumps because they're little bumps in the pressure gradients. And you can see a little spin and a little tight core north of the Cape. And then here's our next little system down here. Keeping it weak, so I don't know. Let's see, do we have an H-Wharf on Invest 92? We do. All right, so what's the H-Wharf showing? 1,017. I mean, come on. This is the H-Wharf prediction on, and they're pretty good with showing any signs of intensification. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell is going on. All right, HAFSA showing a 1013 millibar system early tomorrow morning. And the HAFSB showing a 1015. I don't know, man. If this thing develops, then we're just going to have to start all over again. Oh, man. All right, let's look at some rain and stuff. Let's look at 24-hour rain maps and just kind of show you the big surge, if we're going to get one or not, for rains. And we'll zoom in on our friends down in the Caribbean and Belize, which will be right here. So let's start out with 24-hour rains. And you can see a little bit of surge in the southeast. Here's our next area getting going. It might pull some juice up into Mexico. Keeping it south. I don't know, nothing really standing out other than that. Belize and stuff, I mean, still pulling some. This is the juice down here now that's ended up going to go back. It looks like to Mexico, so that's our other spot the NHC is watching. But no, not really seeing much. GFS showing that little surge in the southeast, and I don't know. That's too far away to look at. So it's kind of not really too much going on. I mean, organized wise. So let's look at some individual rainfall totals for Florida in the southeast here from our Invest 92. Rain accumulation the next 5 days. Oops. What the hell, I clicked there. 5 days. Maybe 1.8 inches in Jacksonville. What do you think about that? 1.6. So you can kind of see the area for the next 5 days. Unfortunately, where we're going, we're going to have some rain in the Gainesville area again. But, we could have, let's do 5 days on the Euro. GFS A little more aggressive, 2.4 in Jacks. They would love that. 2.8 in Palm Coast, Orlando. This is, increased rains through the weekend. Now, daily rains, it's not all going to come at once. It's important to note. It's not like a... Here's your flooding I wanted to point out for today. Look at that. We got flooding today, flooding tomorrow, all up north there in the plains. So pay attention up there. That could be some sneaky little rains they're not used to. But daily rains down here, let's look at Florida and the southeast for this little system. And we'll click on day one, which was today till tomorrow morning. All right, so here's today till tomorrow. Oh, this is, today. Here's today until tomorrow morning, Thursday to Friday. You can start to see some of the rain coming. We're going to look at hour by hour here in a second. So some of this rain could start coming in later this afternoon and tonight. Here's tomorrow. Why do I do that? Just hover over it. All right, here's Friday to Saturday. Whatever. And then here's Sunday. So you can just see that wet pattern, or Saturday, excuse me. So here's today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, we do have a lot of juice in place over the peninsula. So that's good news. But it's spotty rains. Nothing crazy rains. We look at coverage maps here. Let's look at a blend of models showing you what's coming for the next week. Go southeast. We'll go out 5 days. This is all Florida Peninsula. I know you can't see it, but it's right here. I wish they'd make the outline a little bit darker. There's Florida. I drew it really good. Here's Georgia. Look at that. We need a darker outline. And here's South Carolina. Look at that. I was an artist growing up. Look at that. There's North Carolina. All right. Much better. There's your rain, though. All right. 7-day rains. Look at that. Florida hogging it all. And that means, because the high pressure's in place, most of these rains are going to be rolling in off the Atlantic, and we should have an east to west flow with storms coming. So most of your flow will be morning along the East Coast, and then more later day on the West Coast. Signs of that high pressure over Bermuda. Signs that we could set our clocks up, maybe like the olden days, where at 3 o'clock, living in Bradenton, I would look over towards Lake Okeechobee, and you'd see that big old black wall cloud rolling in, and be like, oh, here it comes. Time to go eat dinner. All right, well, that's for the next week at least. All right, let's look at the 48-hour rain maps here for today, tomorrow, into Saturday. Kind of show you what the sometimes these mesoscale models do a lot better on these sneaky little systems that pop up out of nowhere. So we're going to look ahead. So there's your rains. Just follow that flow. Remember Flo from Mel's Diner? What's the same question they want to know there, Shelly? What's so important? Shelly, did you get with Chad on the coffee? Chad's going to have to just drive to Merritt Island and deliver himself. Steele, I don't know about rapid intensification. This Hurricane Otis last year came out of nowhere, but man, I don't know. Not in 24. 24 hours is really pressure drops. I mean, 24 hours and 24 millibars in 24 hours, right? So even if it dropped 24 millibars at 10:15, it'd be barely a tropical storm, so that would be a huge. So rapid intensification at this point would be around what 995, 990. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it would really have to start dropping now. But that's 24 hours. And we're less than 24 hours now, so flow. I want to do a show just on the old sitcoms. Gonna be a little bumpy, Angie. Hey, yeah, we'll look at a boat forecast, but you're right. It's gonna be a little bumpy out there. So, oh, it's about Margaritaville again. Heck yeah, man. Zip code predictions. Well, hey, you know. Oh, you did email us, Chad. Okay, Shelly. Well, here's what we got. All right, later this afternoon. Here, look. 5 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the flow. You can start to see some spinach out here. 5 o'clock this afternoon. Thursday afternoon. Watch it kind of spin in now. So we're going to start to see those rains impact. Now, this is evening rains because it's a tropical disturbance, so not a normal pattern where they have morning showers. This is tonight. Now, going overnight, don't be surprised overnight. Around midnight, you're going to hear little Peter patter on the roof. It ain't Rudolph. Some of these rains could reach the other side of the state. And then, man, this thing is sloppy, man. I don't even know, man. This is terrible. It's going to be the most ugliest 40% orange I've ever seen if this happens. I just don't know, man. I can't wait to find out. I can't wait tomorrow to know the answer to today's question. Because I just don't see anything out of this thing at all, other than normal afternoon. Look at it now. What the hell is backing up here across the south? That to me is more impressive. What is going on down there? There's some sort of something. Front line. Do we have a front line down there? Backing up? No, just nothing official, but the HRR loving it. Let's see if we got anything on the... let's see here. This model. Trouble tidbits. All right. Nah, just tropical. That's water vapor. Anyway, water vapor is tricky. I probably shouldn't show. Water vapor, I look at a lot, but that really wasn't good to show because it's not really anything, nothing to worry about. Now I lost all my maps. All right, let's go back to HR. Well, we got the HRR. I mean, what the hell? That's it. So, I don't know. Nothing sneaky. Nothing popping in the picture. 5-day rains. I don't know. Yeah, you know, it's summer. Heck, man. It might rain. It might not. Shirt idea. It's summer. It might rain. It might not. I'm a weatherman. Monsoon trough coming north. Adam, you're correct. That's what I was looking. I need to go back to the water vapor loop. I'm going to go wider scale on that because it is interesting. Let's look at a precipitable water map. I got so many tabs open here. It's confusing me. Yeah, that's just that flow that's going to push that Yucatan mess toward Mexico. So there you go. So here's that system down here they're watching. Might end up in Mexico. Might bring some rains to South Texas again, but you're right. It's just the overall flow, which they might even show it on the surface chart here. Which one do I like best? 1 or 2? I like 2. 1's really hard to see. Here's your trough. It lifts up. You're right. This is helping push. So we got a little low pulling up from the Pacific here. It's going to get wrapped up in all this. So we're going to have, it's going to be windy. Let's look at the wind map. So it's probably going to be windy down in the Keys big time for the next few days. Why do I always lose? Why do I have altitude? I don't want that on there. I want wind gust. Wind accumulation. That's a new one. All right. So basically through the weekend, it's going to get windy. There you go. There's Friday tomorrow. There's that new low pressure. It's not going to be that bad, actually. It's not too bad, really. This is Sunday. It's not too bad. I mean, it'll be normal winds on the Keys, but nothing like crazy. Are these wind gusts? These are winds. Let me see. I don't know if I got. What is this? PM? No, these are. I think these are sustained winds. It won't let me. Well, they are wind gusts. Yeah, they're nothing. Nothing's showing up too bad. I mean, 15. I mean, it's windy, but you guys are used to that down there. Here's the weekend winds Friday and Saturday for the East Coast. Here's that little bump coming in. So wherever this thing decides the center to go, remember everything flows to the north. So you're going to get some waves and winds even as far north as the Carolinas, wherever this thing decides to go. Most of them are tomorrow, Friday. Most of it's gone by Saturday. So again, I mean, tomorrow morning is like it. Like, might be some thunderstorms maybe over the Gulf Stream. I don't know. Got more chance for storms. 1 p.m. across Florida. I don't know. It's just too random to be specific. So let's do some I don't knows. All right, so we got a clump of clouds rolling westbound, running out of time. It's like Forrest Gump in the desert. It's going to stop, meaning the conditions are going to disappear. That simile was terrible. But anyway, we're going to start seeing rain impacting later this afternoon, this evening across the East Coast, Florida there northward. And by tomorrow morning, it's going to get windy overnight across Cape, definitely northward. Jacksonville going to get an inch or two the next 5 days, hopefully, and surrounding areas. It's going to be, extra juice in the atmosphere. Not going to stick around long. We look at those PWAP values for tomorrow morning, quite high. Reds mean a lot of juice, so definitely going to be increased rains tomorrow. And I think I saw that for Gainesville, 90%. Let's look at some rain precipitation chances. So if you figured me out, I haven't, but I like to keep things official. Here's your rain chances through tomorrow. Big rain chances tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Wow. So that mass just sticks around. Look at that. So your rain chances are quite impressive the next several days. Northern Florida, South Georgia. Be a lot of juice. So you got to keep things official, otherwise you're not being very ethical. So officially we got a spot 40% chance. That's more. I mean, I just was so surprised every time I hit the 2 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 8. I assumed we were going to be down to 10% chance, but now we get to 30. Now we're at 40. So we got to watch it close. I don't know. I don't see much out of this thing. It's only got a 24-hour window, not even that anymore. It's got maybe a 20-hour window, 18-hour window. I think the hurricane hunters are going out there this afternoon. So that, I'll put the link to that on the site and let everybody know when they fly out there, because it'll be interesting to watch the hurricane data. We look at things, all the different levels. This, like I showed earlier, 8, surface level. There's a tiny little surface low trying to develop there. 800, 1,000, there it is, 850, 700. 500. There's some wind shear coming in from the top side, which is blowing. Here's your wind shear, basically. And even though that one map I showed, that's why everything looks like it's just being torn apart heading into Florida. Wind shear does that, and that's right there. I mean, we might have a lower level low, which could develop and look like a little circle down there spinning, but the higher cloud tops are just getting blown off towards Florida, so the high winds blow the winds westward, and that's kind of what a sheared system looks like right here. So that would have to really be reduced here in order for this thing to tighten up and grow. And pressures would have to start to drop too. If the pressures aren't below 1010, then I just can't see this thing doing much. But hey, stay tuned till 5. I don't know why 5. So as we talk about, the NAM, Mike. Yeah, I know. Bobby, the NAM. I hate the NAM. The NAM is very aggressive all the time. Usually it's wrong. But one day it will be right. But it's got the look of what it's kind of looking like. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. Ensembles. Hey, good question. Ensembles pretty much are going to show us the track. I got the link here to Weather Nerds. Alberto Ensembles. So, we don't want Alberto Ensembles. Wrong storm. Oh, heck, I didn't change the link. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Oh, hey, no, I guess not. Maybe they changed on me. All right, well, here's your ensembles anyway. 5-day ensembles, which pretty much just shows you that. What I'm very surprised about, too, with our good old Euro, with 51 members of the Euro, these are just kind of your tracks, low-pressure tracks. But if you look at tropical storm formation and stuff, showing Zippo, even the global spaghettis aren't showing anything at all. Not even like one random noodle. We're not even getting one. 1 out of 51, nothing. Never seen that before on a system that's orange. So the Euro says absolutely zero chance this thing's going to... I mean, basically the Euro just said that. Zero chance it's going to become anything. I mean, I know we got some color here, but I just threw me for a loop seeing that one. Nah. Anyway, all right, cool. Well, anyway, that's about it. Drought map time. Yeah, did it get updated, Mike? Today's Thursday, so we got a new drought map. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to be the new one or not. Has to be less. Oh, it is way less. Here's the latest drought map. So way down, like the Elvis song. Way low. Oh, a little pocket there. Close to Shelly, right? Drought map significantly less than last week. A lot less. So that's good news. Tornadoes in North Carolina. I can't see it from this, man. Bob, you got spaghetti last night? I would love me some spaghetti and lasagna. Today, last night was my official let's be healthy for a while. We had a 5-course dinner at our McGregor's party with TVBC down in Fort Myers, and it was so good. Oh my God. You know when food's so good you just feel guilty eating it? You're like, ah. So anything else we talk about before I sign off? We're going to be live tomorrow. I'm wearing my Furman hat. Let's do Furman a shout out today. Now that the season is upon us, our good friends who are huge in Canada and the U.S. now, almost 50% market share in the U.S. Right there, get 30% off, free shipping. Unbelievable. And they have their summer on select models, which are even more incredible. So you can always find, you can't even generate it for $300. But man, get it now before it's too late. When you click on that link, the discount's already applied. So you don't have to worry about it. Let's say we're going to go over here and buy this little guy. Let's say we want this bestseller. All right. Normally it's $6.79. All right. Add to the cart. Go to checkout. And you will see a 30% off discount. Now it's $4.76, which is amazing. So, been big supporters of ours for many, many years. They do a lot for storm response. Their fast team is on the site as soon as the storm is done, helping people with generators, all brands of generators. They don't care whose it is. They're there to help. The state of Florida and them are partners now, and good people. And they sponsor our NASCAR and Daytona, Hurricane Awareness Machine, and obviously support MWP and my family. So we love them. And if you're looking for generators, give them a look. All right. So it's going to be hot. Hey, do I know what gas? Paul Dover, good question. I just use 87. I know it's good to put the stabilizers and the ethanol boost or non-boost, the stabilizer stuff, because you want to keep the lines and carbs and jets clean. So I highly recommend a fuel additive for ethanol gas. And normally they tell you what to put in there, a couple cap fills per gallon or something. Because you don't want gas sitting in any electrical. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter. In any gas engine that's been sitting a long time, that gas has not as clean as it used to be, and you'll get the teeny little jets will get clogged on you, and you won't get any gas flow. And when you go to use your unit, it's not going to work. So that's why it's good to let it run every month, make a habit of it, or every 2 weeks. If you're out there working in the garage, don't crank it in the garage. Crank it 20 feet from the house. But always make sure you check them now and then. So, but yeah, pure grass would be the best. Hey, happy birthday, Emily! Thank you for that. Yeah, it's tomorrow. So Loretta's got a Furman. How about that? Yeah. So, anyway. Cool. Well, it was great talking with everybody. We're going to leave it on the MWB Brew Crew. So, for a while. We'll be live tomorrow. Pretty much every day next week. Might be our first full week all year. Remember, if you want to do more and be part of our site, right there is a link. And there's all kinds of great options for as little as $4.99 a month. You have to subscribe to the website to be on the Brew Crew, though. It's the only way we can control emails and addresses. But love to have you. And do it now before the season gets busy, because when we get flooded with new subscribers during a storm, it's impossible. It takes a lot of Shelly and Julie labor to sort all of our people and send out all of our perks. So we had about 10 new Cat 5s over the last couple weeks. Julie mailed out their t-shirts yesterday, so be looking for those in the mail. And we love y'all. Have a great day. Hopefully I'm back to contacts tomorrow, because I hate wearing glasses. And these things, look at this. They used to make fun of me when I was a kid. Look at those. Are Coke bottles. I mean, my eyes are so bad. I wear an 850 contact. I think that's half the problem. I even have thick contacts. I needed 825, but I don't think they make them. So this is how I drove home yesterday from Fort Myers. I had to wear these, and I put my sunglasses over them. And yesterday, this is how I walked around the house all day. It almost looks cool until you look at me sideways, and you're like, look at that guy. Hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Friday, all right?